Sessions at sunrise, a way to begin every morning. Most mornings, I'm up to see the sun. I'm used to thinking and feeling in words. Living in words, my world is living and the world is living me. I wonder what will animate me today or what will go away. I find myself in the realm of a hope dealer. I have no suit to put on, just learning to be me, not fancy, just a lot clearer. Am I doing all I can to preserve great leaders? Am I doing all I can to bring great parents to children and great leaders to organizations? I ask the emerging sunrise to release me from shunning the mystery. The world does not have to be beautiful to work, but it is. So let's meet it where it is, pay close attention to things, and see possibility. Welcome to Sessions at Sunrise. You probably have thought about your deepest wishes and dreams and aspirations. And if you're like me, you know that you're not immortal. You know that there is going to be a moment when life ends. And because you know that, that informs you as to how you need to live your life, play the present, make the most of your opportunities, and think carefully about how you want to spend your time and your hours available. And so the present moment is the one that you can control, and how you make decisions in the present moment has very much to do with decisions that you make about what you really want. And if you decide to create those conditions that you really, really want, you set a condition where you are intending an outcome. And so you probably have a dream or you have a project or something that you haven't been doing or starting, where if you got really decisive, and you said that's what really, really matters, and you made up your mind, and you stopped saying, I don't have enough this, I don't have enough that. That's a misstatement of reality. That you say to yourself, I've made up my mind, this is so important to me, it's indispensable, I choose to create it. Well, one of mine is to get to know all 32 states of Mexico. And so over the years, I have carefully crafted my free time to visit and experience the culture of different states in Mexico: Oaxaca, Chiapas, Baja California, Jalisco, Pueblos, the Yucatan, the ruins. And so this decision has helped me make secondary decisions, actions, about where I choose to rejuvenate and where I like to spend time with my wife and family, is to get to know all the states in Mexico. And it's been a tremendous journey. It's been terrific. And one of my most favorite spots is when you drive down Baja California. As you cross into Baja South, you come to Guerrero Negro, which is called the Black Soldier. And then you cross the Baja and go over to what's called Santa Rosalia, which is on the Sea of Cortez. And it's a mining town. In fact, the mine has come back to being active. And one of the neatest things, the neatest landmarks, I think one of the most magical places, very similar to like a Devil's Tower in Close Encounters, is what's called the Three Virgins, Los Tres Vírgenes. And they're a very amazing set of peaks. They're volcanoes. They're inactive, but the main one is about 7,000 feet. I've driven this Baja about 16 times. I love driving from the border down to the tip. It's very safe. This Virgin is this volcano that's an incredible place to climb. It's a great place to go up to the top. And so I brought back a lot of lessons and learning as a result of making a decision to do that. And one of the things that I'm most intrigued with is the relationship between nature and the laws of nature that essentially govern our lives. You know, that we are in a wild card of life, is that the things that play out in our life, what we take in, the experiences that we have, we're not in control of them. So there's a lot of things that happen to us. Some things come our way, some things that don't. There's a continuous flow of emergence. And so at the same time, we're conserving a sort of path of human development and accessing our own wisdom. And we kind of construct from our own sense of power, our own creative process, and make decisions, set intentions, learn from desires that we set. And so as individuals on a path of development or evolution, we're participating in our own evolution by looking at how to relate with nature's way, the way things are, the truth, the reality that's here, the present moment, the way life lives us, how we take it in. So we're being made by that. We're moved by forces we pretend to understand, and we're also making something out of our own intentions. And I think somewhere in between the attention that we give, the way things are, and the intention that we set into creating what matters is the confluence of leadership, is the reverence of what is, and the respect, and the intention setting that we have. And both are born out of love. They're born out of our basic goodness, our capacity to observe, retreat, reflect, and at the same time to consider things that matter and create dreams. And I think both bring us into a certain finer quality of expression, a certain way of being in the world in which we pay attention fiercely and we notice things and make meaning out of experiences, which makes us get involved in our life. There's a great deal of teachings in that, and at the same time, learning by the things that we create and do. Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we don't, and we learn by doing and setting forth and taking action. And there's certainly extremes to both. If we're too intentional and we're caught in always going somewhere, then we miss out on where we are. And if we're too caught in where we are and our orientation to the present moment, we may be running around in circles looking at our feet, but once we look up, we say, well, where are we? Are we really moving in a advancing way or direction? And so both are opportunities of this wonderful, wonderful space called life. The capacity to create, the capacity to connect, the capacity to see more, the capacity to sense more, the capacity to be able to grab things from our experiences and kind of live into the story of things as they're emerging. And we can learn by doing that. And one of the greatest things that I ever did to encounter these principles was to scale that volcano around a little town called San Ignacio, which is just below it. This Tres Virgin, this Three Virgin, this 7,000-foot volcano, and climbing to the top. And I wrote a piece about this, and I think it speaks very, very well to the principles of how we balance the capacity for reception and taking nature in and crafting our intention and bringing our own nature, our own love to creating that which we care about. Tres Virgenes in San Ignacio. I see her peeking over the hills of southern Baja. The black soldier Guerrero Negro is at our backs, and the Goliath Virgin appears ahead of us, 6,999 feet. To know the view up there would be heaven. You stand above two other virgins among you. I have seen you from aerial views through a plane window, and I know you're always close by. My feet touch your surface. My intent to reach your halo is itchy. Nowhere except present with you the journey begins. Perhaps the coyote tells me where to change. The white rock formations inspire bolder priorities in my life. The lizard dances staccato with serendipity time. With streaky feathered clouds watching over your crown, they shape my capacity to trust differences in others. My puny intention just evaporated. I am with you as a finger on the same hand. Receiving the direct sunlight, yellow flowers love to paint your opaque patches. You till the soil in trust for all to be fertile. The sweetest smell imbues a friendlier universe within. Something new is ready to be born. Being human receives your wisdom. The elemental flow inside remains. Receiving all that is ready to come as the end nears, unsafe terrain brings me into friendship with my fear. Movement never wants to stop. Whether you blow, smolder, contain, or flow, intelligence is known any way it comes. I wonder what brings you to exist inside, how tenderly dependent I am to your presence. A thing is a thing because of another thing. Turning the face to the burning sun asks nothing in return. I hear your voice in the silence all around my cat-like steps. Almost there, one more step, and a grand vista changes the heart. Mission accomplished, the path was the goal. Whole mountains are the informer. From my rearview mirror, I see you getting smaller and smaller. But virgin eyes cannot lie. No mountain, living, being, or peak, is without its origins from relationship. Tres Virgenes in San Ignacio. As you hear me say these words, my hope, how this is coming into you, is that you see how I experience this balance of wanting to be at the top of this mountain. But as I went up, I experienced things that I could have never expected. And to hold a flexible attention, while I held my intention, I was walking in this place. And it's my hope that as you gain from this insight, that you don't forget to be reverent, that you respect the life that's here, and that you embrace everything as significant. Because it's in our moments of constructive attention when we see with penetrating clarity into what life is informing us to do. It's information. Some of it we can't see. We don't see the entire story. We can't predict the future. We can create one. We can do it by listening. Listening from our wholeness. Listening as if life were a living system that we're playing in. And at the same time, scale the mountain, having a place to go, taking aim with our gifts, moving from our self-knowledge toward the outcomes and desires we have. These two can be roommates. Thank you.